Good evening, black people and all allies fighting for black liberation, black prosperity, and black joy. I'm Charles Blow, and welcome to Prime. Extreme weather events are not only becoming more frequent, they're becoming more deadly. And lately, it feels like they're happening everywhere simultaneously. Last night, we saw historic and deadly flooding ravage the Northeast after remnants of Hurricane Ida unleashed record amounts of rainfall in just hours. At least 45 people are dead, and according to poweroutage.us, which tracks power outages, about 100,000 people in New York, New Jersey, and Pennsylvania are without power. The rain quickly turned streets into rivers, flooded highways, left homes completely submerged, and overtook the New York City subway system. My own daughter had to be evacuated from a subway car last night due to flooding in the tunnels. In Louisiana, residents are still reeling from the damage there 4 days after Hurricane Ida hit as a Category 4 storm with winds of 150 miles per hour. At least 6 people have been confirmed dead in Louisiana, Mississippi, and Alabama, and 900,000 Louisiana residents and 30,000 in Mississippi are still without power. Some are being forced to gather in cooling centers and on city buses because of the heat index, which has reached 107 degrees. Officials say it could be weeks before power is fully restored. And in the West, California is facing brutal wildfires. The Caldor Fire around the tourist town of South Lake Tahoe has been burning for nearly 3 weeks. It's destroyed at least 700 homes and has burned nearly 200,000 acres. It's only 20% contained and threatens to destroy another 34,000 homes and other buildings. More than 15,000 firefighters are battling dozens of other fires in the state. All of that, as the EPA says in a newly released report, that minorities will be the most negatively impacted by natural disasters that are intensified by climate change, just like the ones we're seeing this week. According to the EPA report, black people are 40% more likely to be in danger compared to other groups if planet temperatures rise 2% Celsius. Joining me now to discuss is New York City public advocate Jumaane Williams and former EPA Environmental Justice head under the Obama administration, Mustafa Ali. Gentlemen, thank you both for joining me. I want to start with you, Jumaane. Just give us an update on the condition in New York City right now.
Well, thank you so much for having me. It's an honor to be on again with Mustafa. It's been pretty bad here. You know, I toured some of New York City, Southeast Queens in particular, was hard hit. As you alluded to, we can no longer say, you know, the storm of the century every 500 years. We just have to start calling them storms. This is the way it's going to be. Unfortunately, we are at the intersection of having failed to stop the climate change. We're in a climate crisis, and intersecting with failures to update infrastructure. So, you know, folks haven't been caught off guard. We've known for a while what was happening, and we've just failed for quite some time. And as usual, the people who get hardest hit are black and brown in these communities. And from the anecdotal evidence we've seen, the people who, God forbid, lost their lives and the people whose homes have been ravaged that I saw fit that description.
So, Mustafa, I wanted to ask you a question about a part of what Jumaane was saying there. You know, people of color, black people, are most heavily impacted by climate change, even though they're probably adding the least to climate change. Just don't have the money to do to add as much to it as other people may have. How do we get environmental justice pushed to the top of the list of things that our activists are engaged around, in addition to things like police reform?
We have to help people to understand that environmental justice is connected to many of the other social justice issues that we all work on. You know, we know that when temperatures increase, violence increases. We know that more folks are dying from air pollution than are dying from gun violence. We know that when we talk about food insecurity and food justice, that also plays into the wealth factors that are going on inside of our communities. Almost every aspect that we work on, even in voting, You know, as temperatures continue to increase, imagine our elders having to stand in these lines to be able to vote. So no matter what issue you are focusing on, it's connected to environmental injustice. And it's also connected to the wealth divide that happens inside of our country.
Jumaane, some people say that the climate crisis is actually a crisis of capitalism or a crisis of inequality. What do you think about that?
You know, I think about this a lot as a person who ascribes to the tenets of democratic socialism in the same way the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. did. And when we look at most of the problems, and we look at the pyramid scheme called capitalism, a lot of the problems is to try to make sure that the money keeps going up to the few. And so I don't know that it's that different when it comes to climate change. The reason we haven't been able to do what we all know we need to do is because people are making money now, and they rather make money now at the sacrifice of future generations. And as Mustafa pointed out, there's intersectionality in all of these things. And unfortunately, we all know who gets hit the most time and time again. And what we have to do is, as was mentioned, make sure we link the climate change to the loss of economic wealth in the Black communities, and also connected to public safety. For far too long, we've equated public safety simply with policing. But we know to keep communities safe, all of these things need to be working, and they're not.
So, Mustafa, what do you think about the infrastructure bill and then the larger Biden bill, and whether or not they will address the issue specifically around Black people, people of color, and climate change?
Well, the bipartisan infrastructure bill, you know, it has a couple of good things that are in there, and there are probably more than that, but, you know, getting some of the lead pipes out, and we know what happened in Flint, Michigan. So a quarter of those or a third of those pipes would actually be able to be dealt with. There's some dollars that are in there for helping us to get some of our wastewater treatment and some of the other types of facilities upgraded. But there's not significant dollars for environmental justice or climate justice in the bipartisan. And that's why the reconciliation bill is so critically important, because it really begins to invest in a new clean economy. It actually takes care of the rest of those lead pipes that have to be changed out. And it has a number of other positives that are in there. But Charles, the most important aspect that our folks have to pay attention to is that there has to be real intentionality about those dollars actually making it into our communities. Because we know when federal dollars often leave and go to the states, then to the counties and to the local governments, that in many instances they don't make it to the places and spaces that need them the most, our communities. So we have to continually stay engaged in there. We've got to make sure that we're working with the Congressional Black Caucus. We got to work with those state Black caucuses. We got to work with the counties and government mayors on the local level to help them to be able to fight for the resources that have to make it to our community. So there has to be intentionality and accountability in these dollars, or we will still be in the crosshairs of many of the things that are impacting our communities.
Jumaane, I want to ask you if you think cities like New Orleans and cities like New York will have to be more radical in the way they think about urban planning. Do we need to start now thinking about whether or not we can continue to have so many people in so close to so much danger?
Well, let's be clear. We're well past that time. We are long past the time of the question you've asked. By the way, we've known it, because the infrastructure that is failing was failing before these quote-unquote storms of the century that have been happening. The MTA and the transit system that you showed has been leaking for quite some time whenever we had heavy rains. So while these images are getting more and more shocking, we have simply been ignoring all of the signs up until there. I heard people say, okay, now we get it. We should have gotten it a long time ago. And the fact that we didn't has had people who have died. In Queens, where I was, the people in their homes have been complaining about these issues for many, many years. Granted, there had been some funds that went in to try to fix it, but it was never fixed. I can only believe that if the population looked a little differently, perhaps they would have had some more funding directly to those communities. As Mustafa said, we have to make sure those dollars are very specific about where they go and who they go to and what is getting fixed. But to your question, we're beyond that time. We should have been radical 5, 10 years ago, but still we had people who were denying climate change and also denying the monies that need to be spent into infrastructure, because it's not as sexy as some other things, and we have to get past that. I think people are getting to a point where they finally understand whether it's sexy or not, it has to be done. Unfortunately, people have lost their lives in the interim.
Mustafa, what is the balance here, between investing infrastructure funds in places that are really in trouble and behind the eight ball, and we have to be honest, may not be able to catch up and do enough. And using, on the other hand, using those funds to places to fortify them that are not quite on the precipice, that are not quite in as much danger. How should we be directing funds at this point?
Well, we should be directing them at the areas that need them the most. We know where the sacrifice zones are. Those sacrifice zones came out of redlining and restrictive covenants and the various zoning laws that people put in place and pushed our communities into certain place. We have tools that actually, GIS-based tools that can anticipate where the most need actually exists. We also know where most of the storms are going to come through now with tornadoes and some of the other things. You can't be as exact, but we know where hurricane alleys are. So we know where many of those investments need to go. We know by some of the maps that we currently already have where many of the droughts are actually going to happen. We also have a better idea also of where extreme heat is going to impact. So we can overlay that with the communities who have often been disinvested in, and we can make sure that we are starting to build a stronger foundation underneath of them. People often talk about resiliency. Our people have been resilient for hundreds of years. It's time for us to have the real resources with real accountability, and also making sure that we're giving new sets of opportunities.
I have to go. I've been telling I have to go in my ear, but I just wanted to get this one point across, this one question through. But should we incentivize relocation, I guess is the question I'm asking.
If we're going to make communities, if we're going to make communities whole, because you have to, and for many instances, you have those bonds between folks who are in there. Aunties who watch the kids while somebody goes to work. So we have to be able to move people together if that is something that they are looking for.
Okay. Jumaane Williams and Mustafa Ali, thank you both for joining me tonight, gentlemen.